Our practice today is fueled by the words of Joseph Campbell, the writer and mythologist. And I will say that what I'm going to read to you, I took out some words in the middle to shorten it a little bit. So these are the words of Joseph Campbell. You must have a room or a certain hour or so a day where you don't know what was in the newspapers that morning. A place where you can simply experience and bring forth what you are and what you might be. So our yoga practice today is that room. It's that hour or so. It's just going to be an hour. It's that place where we can go to really experience who we are and what we might be. So that's both being present with what we have in the moment. That's something we're always practicing in our yoga practice. But it's also tapping into possibility of what could be. So as we go through our practice today, try to be with your breath, be with your body, really honoring where your body is today, while also seeing and maybe stepping towards what you could be. So come into a comfortable seat now. We'll take a few moments for grounding. So find a seat where you can have a long spine and then close your eyes. Welcome yourself to your own room, your own hour, your own breath, your own body, your own thoughts, your own soul. Giving yourself this room, this time, is a gift of exploring who you are, and who and what you might be. Take a moment to acknowledge the body you have today, however good it feels, however many aches you have. Take a moment to acknowledge the mind you have and all the brilliant thoughts and sometimes not so brilliant thoughts it produces. Take a moment to feel, experience, acknowledge your own unique soul. And that soul that gives your particular energy to everything that you do and to everyone you encounter. Bring your hands together in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra. And make a commitment to really be with yourself. We will all be doing roughly the same poses at roughly the same time. But this room, this time, this practice is for you to really experience yourself and to bring that forth fully, because the world needs you just as you are. The world needs you just as you are becoming. On an exhale, release your hands down to your lap. And on an inhale, sit a little taller, grow into yourself a little bit more, and then gently blink your eyes open. All right, if you're going to follow along with the playlist, now's the time to connect to Spotify, find me, that's EDYM428, and our playlist today is Virtual Yoga 5/12. It's May 12th. You can press play on that, and then we're going to start out standing. So come to stand on your mat. All right, let's take the feet just a little bit wider than we might normally take them. Put just a little bend into your knees, hands onto your hips, and we'll rotate around through the hips. So we're going to have a practice today that focuses on hip opening. So for those of you who have been hiking out to see the wildflowers, this hopefully will feel good. And then circle your hips in the opposite direction a few times. You can make these circles as big or as small as you like. Come into the middle, still with your feet a little wide. Bend your knees, place your hands just above your knees. So you're gonna send your hips back and your shoulders forward. We'll take cat and cow here. So take just a normal breath in here, and then take a deep exhale for cat pose through your nose, rounding the spine, looking at the floor. Inhale, cow pose, send the hips back, the head up and the chest forward. And again, exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Couple more. Getting into the rhythm of your breath, getting your body to move with the breath. Last cat pose here. And last cow pose here. And then come back up to standing. We'll still keep the feet a little bit wide. Take your right arm straight up overhead and we'll backstroke here. So take the right arm back as the left arm lifts up and keep going, swimming, honoring your shoulders. And now let's reverse. So crawl forward. Swim forward. And that will be the last one there. All right, bring your feet back in, hip width distance apart. We're doing just a little bit of balance work here. Put your weight into your right foot, bend the right knee, and we'll take a standing pigeon. So the base of the left shin crosses above that right knee. It's early in the practice, it's morning, so listen to your hips, listen to that standing foot and ankle. As you're ready, you can lower down a little bit or keep it high, whatever feels right for you. So whatever level your hips are at, take your arms back behind you, interlace your fingers, tighten up into your core to help you hold the balance. And then from here, you're going to start to lift your hands up away from your back, bringing your chest forward, opening across the shoulders, but mainly across the chest. And then take both arms straight up overhead. So this is like a standing one-leg chair pose. And then come stand up tall. Bring that left knee up to hip height. And then as you exhale, press that left heel forward. And then lower everything down to the floor. Second side, shift your weight into your left foot, bend the left knee, cross the base of the right shin over, bring your hands to your heart. We'll take a couple of breaths here just to get used to the balance and also to get used to the hip opening. When you're ready, if you are, lower your hips down a little bit. Find a breathing rhythm that's steady and even. Through your nose if you can. Take your hands around behind your back. Interlace with the other thumb closer to your hips this time. Roll your shoulders back and maybe lift the hands away from your back. Bringing your chest forward. Broadening across the collarbones. Bottom half of the body stays like it is. Release the bind of the hands. Take them up overhead like you would in chair pose. Keep the balance. Stand upright. Right knee up to hip height. Standing tall. Use your core to kick that right heel forward. And then exhale. Foot down. Hands down. Stand right up at the top of your mat. Bring your hands together at your heart. This time is your time. It's a time of your own to explore, to experience yourself as you are now and yourself as you could be. Deep inhale, take your arms up overhead, stretch up, look up. Exhale, fold down over your legs. We'll take a couple of breaths here in the forward bend. Move your head around a little bit. Let the neck relax and stretch. And then as you inhale, stretch your spine forward. As you exhale, downward facing dog. And we'll take a few breaths in this downward dog as well. Opening up the back of the body, take any movements that you like here. So I like to call these micro adjustments. That can be walking the legs out a little bit.
Maybe shifting the hips side to side. Maybe rippling through your spine. Whatever feels good for you here. And then come into stillness in your downward dog. Use your next inhale to glide into plank pose. Use your exhale to lower chaturanga. Use your inhale to lift into a cobra pose. Exhale lowers you back down to your mat. Widen your hands out, wider than your mat, fingertips on the ground. Lift into a little bit of a cobra, and then roll those shoulders around. One and then the other, trying to get increasingly larger circles as you roll. And then come to the middle. Inhale, big modified cobra here, lifting the heart up, strong belly. And then exhale, lower back down, downward facing dog. Walk your feet up to the front of your mat. Fold down into your legs. And then as you inhale, rise up, sweep the arms out, stretch up tall, join the palms, exhale, hands to your heart. That Surya Namaskar A we just completed will be the framework from which we move through our flows today, exploring ourselves. Inhale, lift up. Follow your breath down to forward bend. Inhale, stretch out halfway. Exhale, take your vinyasa, stepping to downward dog or jumping into chaturanga. Taking a back bend when it's the right time, and then returning to downward facing dog. In downward dog, lift your right leg back and up behind you, stretch it high. As you exhale, lunge your foot to the top of your mat. We'll come into high crescent pose. So that means the back heel is lifted and you take your chest straight up. For this high crescent pose, we're going to turn the palms to face forward. Take a breath in here, and then as you exhale, we're going to lift up to that one leg Tadasana we did a little bit earlier. So you'll lean forward a little bit, bring your left knee up to hip height. So this will be one leg Tadasana here. Take a breath in. As you exhale, airplane pose. Hands go back by the hips. Left leg stretches back behind. Hips stay square. Inhale, lift back up. One leg Tadasana. Exhale, airplane pose. Inhale, lift up, one leg Tadasana, and why not keep that left knee lifted, kick your heel forward, and then sweep back to your airplane pose. And then from airplane, warrior one. Back foot roots, the whole back foot on the ground. Charge up the back leg, sweep the arms forward, open across the chest here. And then straighten the front leg. Think about taking a back bend with that front leg straight. If you keep the back leg really charged, you should feel some opening across the front of your left hip as you back bend here. And then inhale, lift the torso back up, bend into the front knee, sweep the arms out to the sides. We're getting ready for humble warrior. So interlace your hands behind your back, roll your shoulders back, and dive down inside the front leg. Bring your hands away from your back. As you fold down, fold in. Big full breaths here. One more breath here in humble, and then as you exhale, release your hands down to the mat. Lift your back heel up, put some weight into your left hand, turn all your toes to the right. You're going to lower the outer stripe of the left leg down towards the floor, stretching the right hand back behind. This is intended to be a hip opening pose, a little bit of an arm balance. And then inhale, sweep back around to the front of your mat. Straighten your front leg and fold over it. Try to connect your right ribs to the top of your right thigh as you fold over that leg. One more breath in here, and then as you exhale, bend back into your right knee. One leg dog, so lift the right leg back and up behind you again. One leg vinyasa, inhale forward. One leg plank, exhale lower. One leg chaturanga, inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look to the front of your mat and hop, step, or walk your feet to the top. Make sure your toes are on the same starting line. Fold over the legs, and then inhale, rise up. Big breath in, stretch your arms up high. That's it. Exhale, hands to your heart. Be present with the body that you have, no matter how that flow went on the right side. Be present as we move into the flow on the left side. Inhale, lift up. Follow your breath down. Inhale, lengthen out, belly pulls in. Exhale, start your vinyasa, your mini vinyasa, jumping back, stepping back, maybe holding your downward dog or a child's pose. Be with your breath. From downward dog, inhale, left leg back and up behind you, lifting the leg up high, and then exhale, lunge your foot to the top of your mat, high crescent pose. Back heel is lifted, so this is really a balanced pose right here. Finding your high crescent, turning your palms to face forward. You'll take a breath in and you use the exhale to bring you into that one leg Tadasana, bringing your right knee up to hip height. Take a breath in here as you exhale, airplane pose, sweeping the arms forward and back by your hips as you stretch the right leg back. Inhale, lift back up, one leg Tadasana. Exhale, back to airplane. Inhale, one leg Tadasana. This time, use your core to try to press that heel forward. And then exhale, sweep the leg back, sweep the arms back, airplane pose. And now on your next exhale, warrior one. Back heel down, lift up through the heart, bending into the front knee to begin here. And then straighten that front leg. Find a back bend here. So pull the left hip back and the right hip forward, charge up that right leg, and then as you back bend, see if you can get some opening across the front of the right hip. Inhale, lift back up, bend back into the front knee, sweep the arms out and down and behind you, interlace behind, draw the shoulders back, exhale, humble warrior, fold down into it. Letting your head go as you lift your arms up. That's it. You got it. Holding that forward bend down there. And then release your hands down to the mat. Bring your back heel to lift up. Plant your right hand. Turn all your toes to the left. Try to get the outer edge of your right hip, right leg on the floor or close to the floor, and also try to spread across the chest here. One breath in, and then as you exhale, circle back to the front of your mat, hands on either side of the front leg, and now you straighten that front leg, fold into it. Try to get the ribs to chase the thigh. As the left thigh moves back, the left ribs move closer to it. One more inhale here, and then as you exhale, bend the front knee, one leg dog, left leg lifts to the sky behind you for a one leg vinyasa, if that's how you ended the first side. Listening to your body, experiencing your body, respecting it. This time is your own. Make the most of it here. Connecting body, breath, movement. Bring your feet to the top of your mat. Fold over your legs. And then inhale, rise up, deep breath in, palms overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. Utkatasana, chair pose. Take the hips low and then lift the heart up. Make an offering here at the front of your body, letting your heart open, letting your mind open to maybe how low you can get those hips. And then exhale, forward bend, straighten the legs, fold over them. Inhale, lengthen out. Meet me in downward dog. Use your breath to take you from posture to posture. From downward dog, inhale, right leg back and up behind you. Bend your knee and twist open this time. Try to get some opening across the front of that right hip as you really reach your foot over to the left. Inhale, stretch your leg back behind. Exhale, lunge your foot to the top of your mat. Come up to warrior two. So really ground into the legs. Find a steady rooting warrior two. We're going to move the upper body, keep the lower body steady. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, we'll take the variation of side angle pose where we lean to the right and take the right hand back towards the left hip and bring the left arm right over the ear. Inhale, back up, warrior two. Exhale, reverse warrior, variation where you take the left hand towards the right hip, right arm over your ear. Inhale up, two more rounds of that. Exhale, side angle variation. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse warrior variation. Inhale, warrior two. One more round, side angle here. Inhale up. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale up to warrior two. Straighten your front leg. That feels good. Exhale, tip forward into triangle pose. Lean out, bring the right fingers down, left fingers up. Broaden across your chest again. Take your gaze up past your top hand. Deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to the front of your mat, bend into your front knee. So we're going to keep the back heel on the ground. Bring the right arm on the inside of the right leg. Take your right palm behind the right shin. Push the shin forward and lower down. That's all we're doing here. Maybe that's all we're doing here. For me to get a little bit deeper into the pose, I bring my left elbow to the ground and my left hand to the front of my right shin, and then lower in here. Whatever works for you, listening to your hips, experiencing your body. If you want, you can always bind your hands around behind your back. That helps you in your hip opener or helps you open your shoulders. On your inhale, unwind, take the right arm to the outside of the right leg, straighten the right leg, pull the left hip forward so you square at the hips and fold over that leg, front leg. One more breath in here, and then as you exhale, bend back into your front knee, standing splits. Hands at the front of your mat, lift that left leg straight up into the air, and then you can take any hold with your hands that you like that might help you get a little deeper into your standing split. That's it. And then from the standing split, bring your left foot down to meet your right foot. Chair pose, lower your hips down, lift your heart up. We're almost there. You're going to stay in this chair pose, but we'll turn it into standing pigeon. On the right foot, cross the left shin over, hands to your heart, lower down here. And then maybe This time around, to help you get a little bit more of a hip opener, take your upper arms in front of your shin, pushing the upper arms back into the shin and bringing the heart forward. Lower arms work too, trying to get the chest to come forward, maybe lowering in here. Good. Lift your heart up, arms up, lower that left foot down, you're in chair pose, and then straighten the legs. That feels good. Exhale, hands to your heart. Second side, it starts with chair. Lower down, lift the heart up. Maybe surprise yourself by getting the hips a little bit lower and the heart a little higher. Deep breath in, exhale, forward bend, straighten the legs. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, begin your flow, moving with your breath. From downward dog, inhale, left leg back and up behind you. Bend your knee and twist open. Maybe getting the front of that left hip to stretch out a little bit. Inhale, stretch your legs straight back. Exhale, lunge your foot to the top of your mat. Come up to warrior two. And then we'll take that flow back and forth. So take a breath in, exhale, side angle pose, where your left hand reaches towards your right hip and your right arm comes over your ear. Inhale, lift up warrior two. Exhale, reverse warrior, where your right hand reaches for your left hip. Inhale up. Exhale, side angle variation. Inhale up. Exhale, reverse. One more time, side angle. Inhale up. One more time, reverse. Inhale, come up to warrior two, straighten the front leg. I was ready for that. And now triangle pose. Reach forward, bring the left fingers down, right fingers up, take your gaze up past your top hand. Stretching across the chest, across that wingspan there. And then on an exhale, hands to the front of your mat, bend into your front knee. So we'll bring now the left arm inside the left leg. Left palm goes behind the shin, just below the knee. Push the shin forward and lower in. If you want a little more, you can bring the point of your right elbow down to the mat under the right shoulder. Right palm grabs the front of the left shin. Fold yourself in here. If you want something for your arms, you can take your hands behind your back. Hook your hands together here, binding, lowering in. Yeah, you got it. And then on an inhale, unwind, release. Straighten the front leg and fold over it. So pull the right hip forward and the left hip back. Squaring the hips up as you fold over your left leg. One more breath in here, and then as you exhale, bend into your front knee. We're going right to standing splits. Standing on your left leg, lift the right leg into the sky. Maybe you take one or both of your hands behind your shin or your ankle, standing shin or ankle, to help you fold in a little bit more. Bring your right foot down to meet your left foot. And then we're going to keep standing on that left leg as we lift up into chair and then cross the right ankle above the left knee. Lower the hips down here. And then maybe to help you get a little bit deeper into the hip opener, to bring your heart a little bit closer to your shin, you bring your lower arms or upper arms into the shin. You push the arms back and push the shin forward into the arms, bringing the heart a little bit forward. You got it, we're almost there. Take the arms back up overhead, lower the right foot down, chair pose just for a beat, and then straighten those legs out. Oh, take a back bend here at the top. And then exhale, hands to your heart. All right, we're gonna take these last two flows that we did and put them all together with a little bit of change. Hands to your heart, here we go. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, float down. Inhale, lengthen out. Get yourself to downward dog. Okay, inhale, right leg, back and up behind you. Bend your knee and twist open. This time, if you want, you can flip over here. Right foot coming down off the left side of your mat. Opening across the heart. Inhale, back around, one leg dog. Right leg lifts up high behind. Exhale, lunge your right foot to the top of your mat. High crescent pose. Rise up, big breath in here. Turn your palms to face forward. Take a breath in. As you exhale, come up to one leg Tadasana, left knee at hip height. We'll just go to airplane pose one time. Exhale, back to airplane. Inhale, lift back up. Stretch your left foot forward. Oh, one more time to airplane, sorry about that. Last airplane on this side, now warrior one. Sink the back foot. Lift the heart up. Straighten the front leg, little back bend here with a straight front leg. Bend back into your front knee, circle your arms out and down, interlace behind, humble warrior, fold in, bring your hands away from your back, let your head go. Release your hands down to the mat on either side of the front foot. Lift the back heel up, put some weight into the left hand. Turn all the toes to the right. Get low into that left leg. And then inhale, circle back around to the front. Straighten the front leg, fold over it. And then bend back into your front knee. Now we're going to the second flow. Lift up to warrior two. There you go, everybody's with me. Exhale, side angle pose variation. Inhale up. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale up, just one more time with this flow, side angle pose. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, last reverse warrior on the side. Inhale up to warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Exhale, triangle pose. Lean out, and then bring the fingers down. Take your gaze up. Roll the chest open. On your exhale, bend into your front knee. Hands down at the front of your mat. Right arm on the inside of the right leg. Hand behind the shin. Push it forward. Lower down. Maybe you take your head behind your shin this time. Working it under. Or you take the bind. Or you just breathe in this hip opener. As you inhale, unwind, straighten the front leg, square the hips up, fold over your leg. Bend back into your front knee, standing splits. Lift up through the left leg, fold over the right leg. And then bring the left foot down to meet the right foot. Chair pose, low hips, high heart. And then from your chair pose, Cross the left ankle or base of the left shin over the right knee. And we'll get a little bit lower again this time. Third time to be in this pose, on this leg, closing the gap between your chest and your left shin. All right, keep the lower body still. Take the arms back up overhead, then lower the left foot down, and then straighten the leg, stand up tall, back bend here, and then inhale up, exhale, hands to the heart. Side two starts now. Inhale, lift up, exhale, float down. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, begins your vinyasa. I'm thankful to those of you who keep your camera on so I can know that we're all sort of in the same groove here. Inhale, left leg back and up behind you. You're gonna bend that knee and twist open. First option, stay right here, feeling the front of the hip open. Second option, flip over if that works for you. It's your room, your body, your hour. Open up. Inhale as you're ready. Come back around, one leg dog. As you exhale, lunge your left foot to the top of your mat. High crescent pose. Arms up overhead. Turn your palms to face forward. Breath in as you exhale. One leg Tadasana, right knee lifts to hip height. On your exhale, airplane pose. Inhale, lift back up. Kick that right foot forward. Exhale, last airplane pose of the whole practice. And then step back to warrior one. Back heel down, take the arms up. Find your back bend here. And then circle your arms out. Interlace behind, humble warrior, fold down over your leg or to the inside of your leg. Let the hands come away from your back. Hands down at the front of the mat, either side of the front leg. Lift the back heel up, put some weight into the right hand. Turn all your toes to the left. Lower the outer right leg down to the mat. Open across the chest. And then inhale, back around to the front. Straighten your front leg, fold down into it. And now we add in the second flow. Bend the front knee, lift up to warrior two. Breath in here, exhale, side angle pose variation. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse variation. Inhale, one more time, side angle pose. Inhale, lift up. One more time, reverse. Inhale, up to warrior two. Straighten the front leg, tip forward, and then bring your left fingers down. Roll the right shoulder back. Triangle pose. Front leg is straight. One breath in here, and then as you exhale, bend the front knee, hands on either side of the front leg. Once you're there, bring the left arm inside the left leg, left hand behind the shin. Get low inside that leg. Maybe you might tuck your head behind your shin, working your head in. If that works for your neck, maybe you bind your hands around behind your back. Respect your body here. And then inhale, release, unwind, hands on either side of the front leg. Straighten the front leg, fold down over it. One more inhale here, and then use your exhale to come to standing split. Standing on the left leg, lifting the right leg into the sky, folding in. And then exhale, bring your right foot down to meet the left foot. Chair pose. And then from your chair pose, standing on the left leg, cross the right bottom of the shin over, and then get low here. So again, you can bring your arms in front of the shin, pushing the arms back and pushing the shin into the arms. Maybe you wrap your arms around your shin. Do what you can to close the gap between your chest and your shin. Lower body stay still. Take the arms up overhead. Lower the right foot down. It's chair pose. And then straighten the legs. Standing back bend here. Open up the chest. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Take one breath in here, and then on an exhale, release your hands down by your sides. So we're ready now for an arm balance called Eka Pada Calabasa. There's not it's one leg Kalavasana. Galava was an Indian sage. So that's the name of the pose. We're gonna work into it a step at a time. So stay with me. And when you get to a place where you feel, okay, this is the last step for me, you stay there. And if you wanna go on with me, you go on with me. So find a spot on your mat where you've got room for your hands at the front. We're gonna stand on the right leg, bend the right knee, coming into that standing pigeon, crossing the left shin over. And then start to lower your hips a little bit, hands together in front of your heart. So standing balance first, and then we move into the arm balance. Bring your upper arms into the shin. So if your upper arms don't get into the shin, bring your lower arms into the shin. Push the hands or the arms back into the shin, and the shin kicks forward just a little bit into the arms. That's where you're gonna stay if the lower arms are on the front of your shin. If your upper arms are on the front of your shin, see if you can close that gap between your chest and your shin. Next step, if you're ready to go there, is to take your hands to the mat. So you might have to bend more into your standing knee to get there. Press your upper arms into the shin, walk that shin up as high as you can on those arms. Wrap your left foot around your right shoulder. Lean forward so you're taking weight out of the right foot and into the hands. Look forward. Maybe you pull that right foot off the ground up towards your hips. Maybe you stretch the right leg back behind you, finding a little bit of an arm balance there. A lot of a hip opener. And then you come out of that however you can. It's a tough one, tough dismount there. All right, let's try the second side, Eka Pada Calabasa. So this time we stand on the left leg. Bend the left knee a little. Cross the base of the right shin above that knee. Hands to the heart. Standing balance is the first step with the hip opener. Take the hips down a little bit more. And then bring some part of your arms to the front of your shin. So if the upper arm doesn't get there, lower arms press and your chest comes forward. If your upper arms get to the front of the shin, see if you can get a little bit lower, working the arms down and working the shin up on the arms. And then from here, next step is hands down to the mat. Wrap the right foot around the left upper arm, and then start to bring your weight forward into your hands and out of your foot. So you might go back and forth a few times here, finding that weight coming forward. Look forward, push your shin into your arms, lift that back foot up. Squeezing the belly in and up, maybe stretching the back leg back. I see it. That's happening. Good job. And then let's just stand up and shake things out for a moment. Take your feet a little bit wide. Yeah, move those hips around a little bit. Circle them around. We asked a lot of them today. Shake your arms out a little bit. All right. If you want it, it's your last flow opportunity. If you don't want it, you're going to come to a seat with your legs straight out in front of you on your mat. So you decide where we want to be here. We're all going to end up seated on our mats. Legs straight out in front. Arms up overhead. Deep breath in. Exhale, bow forward. Fold over your legs and just let go here. If you've been practicing a Ujjayi breath control where you tone in the throat, let that go now and just be in your forward bend. Be with who you are and who you might be. Inhale, lift back up. So you're going to keep that left leg still stretched out in front of you. You're going to bring the right heel to the outside of the left hip. So this is one leg cow face pose at the bottom. We're not doing the upper part. So that right kneecap is pointing forward, outer edge of the left foot is pressing down. Inhale, stretch your chest up, and then as you exhale, fold forward. Maybe walk your hands out to or towards that left foot as you fold down. And then use an inhale to lift back up and straighten out the right leg. If you need to, shake out that right knee a few times just to get blood flowing back through it. And then we'll take the second side. This time, right leg stays straight. Lift up the left leg, cross it over, and try to get that left heel back to the outside of your right hip. Left toes point out to the side, outer edge of the left foot presses down. Left kneecap points straight ahead. Inhale, sit up tall. And then on an exhale, fold over your leg, reach your arms out in front. On an inhale, lift back up. Straighten out that left leg, bounce it out a few times if that feels good. And then one final hip opener here. It's also, to me, a delightful low back stretch. It's called Omega Pose because you bring your legs into the shape of an Greek letter omega or horseshoe. So your toes point out to the sides. Bring your arms, if you can, on the insides of your legs. Take your hands under your shins and grab the outer edges of your feet. If that's not working for you, arms on the tops of your legs, and you grab the insides of the feet. And then because you've created a bind, you can push into it a little bit. So push the feet into the hands, pull the hands back into the feet. Try to bring the chest forward as much as you can, and then fold forward. I hope that's stretching your low back as much as it stretches mine. It feels great. And then inhale, lift back up. Straighten those legs out, bounce them out a few times. We're gonna go right into shoulder stand. So if you're not doing a regular shoulder stand, do a supported shoulder stand with a block under your hips. I'll show you what that looks like. Supported shoulder stand, you put that block or something that you have nearby that will work as a block underneath your sacrum. Hug your shoulder blades under you, press the back of the head into the floor, and take your legs straight up. You're coming into a regular shoulder stand. You'll use a little bit of momentum to get your legs up and then your hips up. Hands come to your low back. Try to hug those elbows in towards one another as you press the back of your head into the floor. Inverting here, turning upside down just a little bit. Any other back bend, this is not a back bend, sorry. Any other inversion works. Good, and now you can move towards plow pose if you feel that works for your body. In plow pose, you take your feet towards the floor above your head. Feet may touch down on the floor, they may not. That's not important whether they touch. Just trying to get that deep stretch across the back body. And then when you've had enough of that, begin to roll yourself down. Rolling the back down to the mat. Eventually the hips come down and then bring the feet to the mat. We'll take one back bend here. This one's called bridge pose. If you want some other back bend besides bridge, you're welcome to take a fish pose, which is what usually happens after the shoulder stand. But let's see if we can take that bridge pose and open up the front of the body here. Pulling the shoulders in, maybe binding the hands underneath, really pressing the arms and the pinky fingers down, pressing the back of the head down, stretching across the front. And then on an exhale, release your hips down, walk your shoulders and arms out. Hug your knees into your chest. Keep the knees drawn in, take your arms out to a T. As you exhale, take your knees to the right and then look back over your left hand. Inhale, knees up. Exhale, take the knees to the left and turn your gaze out past your right hand. Right palm is turned up to the sky. Inhale, bring your knees up. Give them a sweet hug in, hugging into what you are and what you can be. That's what this room or this hour, this practice has been about. And then on an exhale, stretch out. It's time for Shavasana. If you're following along with the playlist and you're not at the last song yet, then go ahead and fast forward. And once you find your corpse pose, let go into it. Let's do that with some clearing breaths. 3 times, big inhale through your nose. Deep exhale through your mouth. 2 more on your own.
Really inviting that big full breath in, but more importantly, letting it all go. You don't have to push it out, just let it release as you're letting your muscles release. We'll take these last few moments to feel the essence of who we are in this moment, body, mind, soul. Deepen your breath just a bit. Using the longer inhale now to reawaken you. Through our practice, through this hour of being really in your body, your mind, and your heart, we've experienced and brought forth what we are. And now as we reawaken, it's time to bring forth what we might be. Start to move your fingers and your toes. Maybe stretch your arms above your head or take any stretch that feels good for you. On an exhale, roll to your side or roll straight on up to a seat. Once you find that seat, bring your hands to your heart. I hope as you go through your day, you're able to really be with what is for you in the moment while awakening to what you might be. Let's take a moment to send our own unique energy, our support from our hearts to all of those who are in need, to those who are sick, to all of those who are healing the sick, to all of those who are keeping things going so that the rest of us can stay healthy. The unique me bows to the unique you. Namaste.